What happens when two television icons clash live on air in a way nobody saw coming? What happens when a casual morning show segment turns into one of the most explosive moments in broadcast television history? This is the story of how Joy Behar's appearance on Good Morning America became the talk of the industry, and why she never made it to the commercial break. Before we get into what went down, make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below telling me which morning show host you think handled pressure the best. The segment was supposed to be simple. Joy Behar, longtime co-host of The View, had come to Good Morning America to promote her new book and reflect on her decades-long career in television. Robin Roberts was hosting that morning, calm as ever, known for keeping even the most sensitive conversations steady and respectful. Everyone involved expected a friendly exchange between two seasoned professionals. Producers had even joked backstage about the playful banter they might get from two women who had spent years dominating daytime TV. But something shifted almost immediately. Robin opened with what sounded like a routine question about a controversial statement Joy had made the week before regarding a well-known political figure. It was relevant, recent, and already circulating heavily online. The moment the question landed, Joy's expression tightened. Her smile faded just enough for the audience to notice. "Robin, I thought we were here to talk about my book," Joy said, her tone sharper than expected. Robin responded smoothly, reminding her that while the book was absolutely part of the conversation, viewers were also curious about comments Joy herself had put into the public space. It was the kind of explanation morning show hosts give all the time. Calm, reasonable, professional. Joy leaned forward. She said there was a difference between speaking her mind and being ambushed on live television. The word ambushed hung in the air. Camera operators glanced at one another. In the control room, producers leaned closer to their monitors. This was no longer a routine segment. Robin pushed back, politely but firmly. She pointed out that Joy had built a career on asking people to explain their views and defend their statements. Why was it suddenly unfair when the roles were reversed? That question changed the temperature in the room. Joy accused the show of chasing ratings and setting her up for a gotcha moment. Robin replied that the show's ratings were strong, and that her goal was a substantive conversation, not a trap. She added that if Joy was uncomfortable, it might be worth exploring why. That was the spark. Joy bristled at the suggestion, saying she had been doing hard interviews longer than many people in the building had been alive. Robin, still seated, asked her directly to answer the question. The studio went silent. At that moment, this stopped being an interview and became something else entirely. And as Joy leaned back in her chair, clearly deciding whether to engage or escalate, Joy decided to escalate. She said she was not going to sit there and be used to score points with whatever audience the show was chasing. She framed her appearance as a professional courtesy that had been repaid with disrespect. Robin countered that she was treating Joy exactly like any guest who made news, with respect, and with the expectation that they stand behind their words. That is when Joy stood up. Her microphone pack tugged slightly as she moved, a small technical detail that somehow made the moment feel even more real. A producer stepped onto the set, hands raised in a calming gesture. Joy waved him off. Robin remained seated, composed, but clearly no longer willing to soften her position. Joy accused Robin of hiding behind her image. America's sweetheart, the unshakable anchor, the survivor. She suggested that Robin's personal story made her untouchable and immune from criticism. The audience audibly reacted. Several people lifted their phones. Robin stood up then, matching Joy's physical presence without matching her volume. She said she had never claimed to be perfect. She said her personal struggles had nothing to do with the question at hand, and that bringing them into the conversation was beneath Joy. Joy did not back down. She said Robin used her story as a shield, that no one ever called her out because criticizing Robin Roberts felt off limits. The producer glanced toward the control room, waiting for instructions. The director signaled to keep rolling. Robin's composure cracked for a split second. Not anger, but hurt. She recovered quickly, saying she shared her life honestly with viewers who had been on that journey with her. If that made Joy uncomfortable, that was not Robin's responsibility. Joy laughed, without humor. She said she was not threatened, only annoyed. Annoyed by what she called a sanitized version of morning television, where no one said anything real. Robin pushed back hard. She listed the serious topics the show had covered: wars, disasters, social issues. She said seriousness did not require shouting. Joy accused her of being real only when it was safe. Robin said Joy was being difficult, that she had asked one straightforward question and received personal attacks instead of an answer. Joy insisted the question was designed to trap her. Robin said the only narrative being created was the one Joy was performing live on air. By now, the idea of a commercial break felt distant. The tension had become the segment. And watching it unfold, the argument reached a point where neither woman seemed interested in de-escalation. Joy called the interview a hit job. Robin's frustration finally surfaced. She said she had interviewed presidents and world leaders who had handled tougher scrutiny with more composure. Joy fired back that those people knew they were walking into a grilling, while she had expected a celebration. Robin said plainly that Joy had walked in looking for a fight and found one. Joy removed her microphone pack and dropped it on the chair. She said she wanted respect and accused the show of dressing ambush tactics up as journalism. Robin crossed her arms and told her to walk off if that was how she felt. Joy stopped mid-step. For a moment, it seemed like she might turn back and finally answer the question. Instead, she said she did not need Robin's approval or her platform. She had her own audience and did not answer to anyone. Robin replied that this was not about approval. It was about accountability, about what it meant to speak into a national conversation, and then refused to explain yourself. Joy accused Robin of playing a game. Robin stepped closer and said accountability was about truth, not ratings or ego. Joy snapped back, listing the causes she had fought for and the criticism she had endured over the years. She told Robin not to lecture her about truth from behind a perfectly polished image. Robin said Joy was being cruel, that she was attacking personally because she could not defend her statement. The audience did not move. No coughing, no applause, just silence. Joy tried to reframe it as criticism of the performance, not the person. She said Robin's carefully constructed image was exhausting and dishonest. Robin responded with visible emotion, saying professionalism was not fear. It was responsibility. Joy said responsibility was just another word for playing it safe. Robin said she built bridges while Joy threw grenades. Joy said bridges led nowhere. Robin paused, then said quietly that she felt sorry for her. That line landed hard. Joy accused Robin of judging her. Robin said she was tired. Tired of being attacked for doing her job. Tired of being told she was not enough of something. Joy then delivered the line that changed everything. She said Robin was scared. That fear made her weak. Robin looked at her and said, calmly and clearly, "Get off my set." Joy looked stunned. And at that point, Robin repeated it, louder. The interview was over. Joy protested, saying Robin could not kick her off live television. Robin turned to the camera, thanked viewers, and announced a break. The cut gesture followed. The cameras stopped rolling, but the damage was already done. The studio erupted. Producers moved fast. Voices overlapped. But Robin stood still, looking at Joy with something between anger and disappointment. Joy grabbed her bag. Her hands were shaking. She said it was not over. Robin replied that it was. Joy Behar walked off the Good Morning America set and never returned. Within minutes, clips began circulating online. Within hours, the segment dominated entertainment news. By the end of the day, it was being dissected as one of the most explosive moments in morning television history. Some viewers praised Robin for drawing a clear line. Others felt she should have ended the segment sooner. Some sided with Joy, arguing she was baited. Others believed she exposed herself by refusing to engage. What was undeniable was this: two veterans, two styles, two philosophies about what television should be, and neither was willing to bend. So now the question turns to you. Was Robin right to end it the way she did, or did she cross a line? And just as important, should I make the next chapter? Or does this story say everything it needs to say right here?